Here I am, I'm racing Reaper, first round, at a track I've never been to, racing in the heat of the day at a no prep, my second one.
Welcome, hello. It's a very nasty Oklahoma rainy day today.
In the vibrant and fast-paced world of Street Outlaws, no figure stood taller than Justin Shearer, better known to fans across the nation as Big Chief. For years, he was the heartbeat of the franchise, the man who not only raced with fearless conviction, but managed the coveted 405 list with a presence that commanded both respect and admiration. His departure from the show was not just a change in cast, it was a seismic shift that left fans stunned and asking, what happened to Big Chief? Rumors quickly flooded forums and comment sections. Was it burnout, a disagreement with producers, or something deeper brewing beneath the surface? Then came the bombshell. Justin himself stepped forward and named 5 individuals who had played significant roles in his decision to leave. Suddenly, the story was no longer just about one man leaving a show. It was about the unraveling of relationships, philosophical differences, and the unseen pressure of carrying a TV empire on one's shoulders. To understand this chapter, we must go back to the beginning, to a boy riding his bicycle along Old Route 66, chasing the sound of street engines echoing in the Oklahoma night. Born in Louisville, Kentucky in 1980, Justin Shearer didn't come from glamour or fame. Raised by his mother after the passing of his father, his early years were defined by resilience, curiosity, and a fascination with the raw energy of cars. At the age of 9, he was already sneaking out on his bicycle to watch street races. These moments weren't about rebellion. They were formative sparks that lit a lifelong passion for racing. When the family relocated to Oklahoma City in 1992, Justin found himself in a city where underground racing wasn't just a pastime, it was a lifestyle. He immersed himself fully, honing his mechanical skills and learning the codes of the street racing brotherhood. Over time, his reputation grew. With fierce determination and a natural sense for competition, he became known as Big Chief, a name that would later echo far beyond Oklahoma. He didn't just want to race, he wanted to organize, to elevate, to turn the chaos of late-night street showdowns into a structured, respected pursuit. And when the Discovery Channel caught wind of the 405 scene, it was Big Chief they turned to, the man with the vision, the passion, and the stories to tell. Few partnerships in the Street Outlaws universe were as iconic as Big Chief and Sean "Murder Nova" Ellington. Together, they formed a dynamic duo that powered both the Midwest Street Cars brand and the core narrative of the show's early seasons. Their chemistry on screen and in the garage was electric, a blend of technical genius and raw instinct. For years, they were inseparable, racing together, building cars, and navigating the world of reality TV side by side. But as is often the case in high-stakes environments, tension began to rise. Whispers of disagreements, diverging priorities, and alleged rule violations began to surface. By January 2021, the split became public. Big Chief stepped away, and Murder Nova eventually took his place as racemaster. In a rare interview, Big Chief acknowledged the distance, calling himself a lone wolf not by choice but by circumstance. Their separation wasn't marked by scandal, but by something more painful, a quiet drift between two men who once shared everything under the hood. The racing world was left to wonder, how did such a strong bond dissolve, and what did it mean for the soul of Street Outlaws? James "Reaper" Goad was never one to hold back. With a personality as bold as his builds, Reaper brought fire and drama to every corner of the Street Outlaws franchise. His clashes with Big Chief weren't staged for entertainment. They reflected a fundamental disagreement about how the show and the racing community should be run. Reaper publicly questioned Big Chief's leadership style, suggesting that his influence sometimes overshadowed others in the crew. Fans took sides quickly, and the racing community found itself split. Reaper's departure from the show added another layer to the evolving landscape of Street Outlaws. Some felt he had valid points. Others believed his frustrations stemmed from personal setbacks. Reaper would later return to the spotlight with a revamped version of his car, signaling that his passion for the sport was undimmed. However, the divide with Big Chief lingered. At the heart of their disagreement was not just a battle over rules or recognition, but over values, what it meant to race with honor, what the list truly represented, and whether fame had changed the very culture they both once loved. Precious Cooper wasn't just another driver, she was a force of nature. Dubbed Queen of the Streets, her rise in the Street Outlaws universe challenged stereotypes and set new standards. But when she crossed paths with Big Chief during the filming of America's List, sparks flew, and not the kind seen under a car hood. According to several sources, tensions erupted over the implementation of the "Race Your Way In" policy, which allowed certain racers to bypass the usual qualification process. Precious, hailing from the Memphis team, reportedly felt that the rules favored some over others. Big Chief, however, stood by the changes, emphasizing inclusivity and competitive fairness. The disagreement escalated quickly and became deeply personal when Jackie Brash, Big Chief's partner, got involved. What followed was one of the most talked about moments in Street Outlaws history. Big Chief and Jackie walked away from the show mid-season. Though neither Precious nor Chief confirmed the exact details of their feud, the impact was undeniable. Viewers were left with more questions than answers, but one thing was certain: even the strongest engines can stall when trust runs low. In the ever-competitive world of street racing, rivalries are not only inevitable, they are essential. But few have gripped the Street Outlaws fanbase quite like the back-and-forth saga between Big Chief and Kai Kelly. Their first televised face-off in 2014 was a nerve-wracking match, with Kai narrowly falling short against Daddy Dave. But that race was just the beginning. The very next year, Kai Kelly arrived at a high-stakes 16-car showdown in Texas, and he didn't just compete, he dominated. Not only did he beat Daddy Dave, but he also defeated Big Chief and walked away with a sizable prize purse and the respect of every racer in attendance. Eventually, Big Chief did manage to beat Kai in a televised race, marking a pivotal moment in their storyline. But even that win couldn't erase the sting of earlier defeats or the questions surrounding them. Their tension was never explosive or theatrical. It was the quieter kind of rivalry, the type born from mutual respect and unspoken challenge, where every green light meant more than just a start. It meant something to prove. The 2017 Mega Race was one of the most hyped crossovers in Discovery Channel history, pitting Street Outlaws 405 crew against Richard Rawlings and the famed Gas Monkey Garage team from Fast and Loud. On paper, it was a dream matchup. Two powerhouse brands, two radically different cultures of car building, and one winner. Behind the scenes, however, the experience would leave a bitter taste in Big Chief's mouth, one that would linger long after the engines cooled. Though Chief won the final run based on reaction time, the controversy surrounding the driver swap and perceived strategy manipulation clouded the results. In post-race interviews, Big Chief didn't mince words. He said he had lost all respect for Richard and his team, not because of performance, but because of how the competition was handled. For Big Chief, street racing wasn't about sponsorships or perfectly tuned labs. It was about late nights, unpredictable pavement, and making do with what you've got. While Street Outlaws built its empire on high-octane excitement and underground authenticity, it wasn't immune to criticism or internal controversy. Over the years, viewers and racers alike have witnessed an undercurrent of disputes, especially surrounding the most delicate topic in motorsport: fairness. Among the most talked about cases were the accusations involving racers like Chuck Seitinger, Ryan Martin, and James "Birdman" Finney. Disagreements broke out over calls during races, jump-start allegations, and mid-round modifications. Big Chief himself walked a fine line, striving to preserve the sport's spirit while navigating the pressures of a national television show. It's a delicate balance, maintaining authenticity while delivering entertainment, and for many, it's a line that blurred more and more with each season. The National Hot Rod Association, NHRA, long considered the gold standard of sanctioned drag racing, took issue with Street Outlaws from the start. Their concerns weren't about ratings or rivalries, they were about safety. At first, the relationship between Big Chief and NHRA seemed adversarial, but over time, dialogue replaced disagreement. Eventually, in a gesture of unity, Big Chief partnered with NHRA to produce a public safety message discouraging dangerous street activity. In 2016, he made his debut at the prestigious U.S. Nationals in Indianapolis, competing in the Pro Mod class. The transition wasn't just symbolic, it was a demonstration that Big Chief could bridge the gap between street credibility and professional standards. He showed that it was possible to respect the rules without selling out. For his fans, it was a powerful message: you can evolve without forgetting where you came from. By 2021, Big Chief's absence from Street Outlaws was no longer temporary, it was permanent. After 17 seasons, a legacy built on grit, innovation, and storytelling came to an end. In a heartfelt YouTube video, he spoke openly about his departure. He cited frustrations with new rules introduced on America's List, disagreements about how racers were selected, and a growing feeling that the show no longer represented the racing culture he loved. Today, Big Chief has shifted his focus to Midwest streetcars, his YouTube content, and grassroots racing. His garage now features car builds, behind-the-scenes stories, and appearances by his longtime partner, Jackie Brash. His legacy? Undeniable. From a kid pedaling his bike to Route 66 to a national TV icon to a man who walked away to stay true to himself. Big Chief's story is one of resilience, principle, and a love for racing that no spotlight or feud could ever erase.